Hi, I am Keith. Welcome to my studio and my YouTube channel, where today I have something extra super special right here, my Battle Hippopotamus. And that's not easy to say, hippopotamus. I have probably 300 or more videos on this channel, all of them showing demonstrations on how to paint. This one here is probably in my top 10, and I just made it yesterday. The reason why I enjoy this one so much is because of things like this, my metal reflective objects, and this little jewel that he has in his jaw, and then all the rest of it. It's watercolor, it's ink wash, it's pencil and pen. And this video is a little long, but I encourage you to stick with it to watch me to see how I painted it so you can learn for yourself. What we have here is a battle hippo, not a battle rhino. I did a battle rhino on a few videos back, and it's pretty cool as well. But this hippopotamus, I found the picture on Google and downloaded it, and I put it on my projector and I put it on this paper. I'm using mixed media paper here, which is a little different than canvas, and there's a reason for that, because after making 300 odd paintings for these videos, I've stacked up quite a few works of art in my studio. And behind me, I have probably 20 different canvases with all kinds of really super cool fantasy sci-fi paintings, and you can go back on my list and watch them. And they're fun to watch. They're just a blast. I love watching this stuff. I was a Bob Ross kid, so I know what it's like to watch somebody make something. So I wanted to do something that was kind of a ferocious animal. And if you think about ferocious animals, you think of like sharks and hyenas. But do you think of a hippo? Well, I've heard that hippos kill people all the time. That's what I've heard. And I have some hippo facts coming up soon. But right now, on my paper, which is mixed media paper, I'm using my 8B as in boy pencil. It's a soft leaded pencil to put in some scales. Now, hippos don't have scales. If you know anything about a hippo, the skin is basically smooth. But in my world, I can do what I want. If you look down by my hand right now, there's 3 extra eyeballs. And as far as I know, hippos don't have 3 extra eyeballs on one side or the other side. So this guy has a total of 8 eyes. And why is that? So he can see front, he can see sideways, and he can see back. Right now, I'm putting my first layer of transparent watercolor paint. I made that paint by using 3 colors, blue, yellow, and red. I had heard that you can make skin colors by mixing those colors. And if you look at this right now, it looks a little dark. But right there, once the paint dries, it lightens up. So what do? I get some ink wash. I go in and I darken down some of the areas to make it look 3D. Basically, I'm putting in shading. At first, when I saw this, I thought maybe I did too much darkness. Maybe I went too dark. Then I put on my first layer of highlights, and I go, oh my God, this guy looks like he was in a freezer for a while, and he has frostbite. And there's all kinds of like frost on his body. But those are my first layer of highlights, and as this painting goes along, you'll notice those blend in really well. You got to look at this painting in context. And right now, where it's at, it doesn't make much sense. And that's frustrating as an artist as you work at your painting, because you have to think about what it's going to look like when you're completely done. So now I'm putting in some reds and some pinks for the jawline. And I think that this looks really good right here. And as it goes along, you're going to see this thing morph. I'm putting some color on my other eyeballs, looks like. I think I used some pink or red. And to me, eyeballs is where the animal or anybody lives. You look at the eyes, and the eyes are the window to the soul. So it's important to get the eyes right. And if you're doing a fantasy thing, it's much easier to get the eyes right than in a real person. So while we're going here, I'm going to tell you some facts about hippos. You ready? Hippos are the 3rd largest mammals on Earth. Native to Africa, hippos are the 3rd largest land mammals. Elephants and white rhinos are the 2 largest land animals. There are 2 species of hippopotamus. The most widely known species of hippopotamus is the common hippopotamus, or Hippopotamus amphibius. These hippos can measure 6 to 16 feet long. The pygmy hippo, or Cheops liberal something, a smaller species of hippo, is an average of 5 feet long. Number 3, hippos will thrive underwater. Hippos can hold their breath for an average of 5 minutes. That's long enough to take walks along lake beds and riverbed floors. No wonder their nickname is river horse. Hippos are a vulnerable animal. According to the IUCN Red List, hippos are classified as vulnerable due to human activity impacting their environment. Number 5, hippos are herbivores. Hippos are herbivores, meaning they fuel their bodies with plants. Hippos eat an average of 80 pounds of grass each night. The gestation period of a hippo is 243 days. Baby hippos are called calves, and they weigh between 30 to 50 pounds when they're born. Number 7, hippos are most active at night. While not considered nocturnal, most hippos forage and actively happen during the night. And activity happens during the night. They leave their resting waters near dusk and return in the morning. So in the painting, I am putting on highlights. And I think the frosty highlights are kind of disappearing now because the other highlights give it more of a contour and it fills in the spaces and makes it look more full. Trust me, as this goes along, this picture kind of morphs. Oh, I made the eyeballs blue. That's interesting. It's blue eyes, and the white sclera is actually kind of a pink. So it looks like he has pink eye. But maybe he got pink eye from being in the river too much and got some sort of a infection. Here I am putting on some more blacks. I think I'm nuts. What am I doing putting more blacks? Well, because my blacks and my highlights is what creates my 3D image of my hippo. So I'm putting on that's ink wash. Basically, it's ink that I put into an inkwell, and I add a little water to it, so I thin it down, and I make different darknesses, or they call it values, and so I can go dark, medium dark, or light dark. Is light dark a thing? In my hand right there, it looks like I have a pen. I do, and I am doing some outlines right there. That's a pretty cool pen I got. It's like a miniature version of a magic marker that I bought, and it has a brush on the end. So I can get some really detailed edges with that pen. So here we go. We're still working on the hippo. Number 8, they produce their own sunblock. Hippos live in sub-Saharan Africa, where the sun's UV rays are incredibly strong. Hippos have adapted the ability to produce a red, oily liquid that acts as a natural sunblock. Number 9, hippos can identify friends from enemies. Fascinatingly, hippos can identify a friend from a foe by smelling their dung or poop. Hippos use middens or outdoor areas where they repeatedly go to the bathroom. Hippos can then sniff the area to find out who's been there and if they are considered a friend. And one more, number 10, hippos serve an integral role in their ecosystems. A hippo's enormous size lends itself to creating microhabitats for small organisms. They facilitate habitats for fish populations by repeatedly walking on common pathways from water sources to inland areas. That is fascinating. So here we go. I am now putting the hair on my hippo. If you know anything about hippos, they don't have hair. So I am having fun. This is artistic license. I can do what I want. And I gave my hippo hair. I put a ink wash in the back. And then right there, I added a bunch more ink wash. Oh, and this thing right here, it kind of looks like his throat. That's not what I intended it to be. I intended it to be more of a decoration to pull the composition to the right because his head was so full. And now, watch this. This is some fun stuff right here. One thing I've worked on over the years is jewels. And I'm trying to make this little thing on his jaw look like a ruby. So the first thing I need to do is darken it down with some ink and make it black. And then I add, on the bottom, kind of a glowing red that comes out of that black. And then I add a highlight on top, and it just makes it pop. If you look at that thing to the upper right, that little round thing, it looks like it's a reflection. And look at his horn. I made those both into reflective objects, which is like chrome. It's something I've been working on for years, and I think it turned out pretty good on this guy here. I like the chrome look on that horn, and I like the chrome look. Now the highlight I just put on the jewel kind of makes that pop too. Now it looks like a jewel. You know, people wear earrings. Maybe these hippopotamus creatures I designed wear jewels on their jaw. That's their version of jewelry. So one more time before we go here, please like and subscribe, like and subscribe, and like and subscribe, because I could use more subscribers all the time. If you want to learn how to do this or see all the wacky creatures I create, the best way is to go through my list. And I do thank you for being here, and have a good day.